Raheem Sterling is an incredibly proud man who has been raised from an area which was a cultural melting pot which embraced all ethnicities and religions. And so it was because of that, on one day, when he had been faced with incredible abuse at a Chelsea match, that he slept on it and posted an Instagram post, questioning the representation of footballers and going on to challenge how the hierarchy in football and our industry are dealing with racism. The results have been emphatic and, quite simply, seismic. And that is why Raheem Sterling, both as a player and as a reluctant leader, is by far and away our Footballer of the Year.
You used to be able to time your runs better than that, Raheem.
Is it sinking in?
Yeah, kind of. It's looking at that. I'm not really an emotional person, but looking at that was pretty nice, and made me smile.
You're up there with the greatest in the game, and I know Steven Gerrard is such a big influence to you about setting an example, but up there as well in terms of all the legends in this game. What does that mean to you?
It's an honour, really, to see the players on the wall, and the players before me that's won this award. It's an honour to be voted, and I'm really, really, really grateful.
I want to talk to you about your career because they were the incredible highlights. You really are scoring for fun now. You're enjoying it as much as you do those dazzling sprints, the tricky footwork. Where's that come from? Is it all the training ground work with Mikel Arteta and Pep, or is it just a new confidence in yourself?
Yeah, I hear a lot of stuff, about who's improved me and stuff like that. But from a young age, I've always enjoyed scoring goals. Throughout your career, then things happen. You're not quite as confident as you was when you were 14, 15. You start believing what people are saying about you. But then there comes a moment in your life where you wake up and understand, of course, with the great coaching staff that we have at City, it's always an added bonus. But to get back my confidence within myself and not really listen to the negativity that I was hearing about myself and actually starting to believe it, I think that was a massive turnaround for me.
You had quite a setback, didn't you? Talk to us about that, how it affected your game and your career.
Yeah, from a young age, I've always heard nice stuff about myself, and I had a transfer from Liverpool to Man City. At that time, a lot of people thought I was too young to make the decision for myself. But before going to Liverpool, I set myself goals, and even as a 15-year-old, I knew what I wanted. I knew where I wanted to be, and I knew before I was 20, 21, I wanted to win the Premier League. And if I couldn't do that at Liverpool, my options was to look elsewhere. And that's my mentality from when I was 15. And when I had the opportunity to actually look and actually see and assess my options, because your career is only short, and people only remember you winning trophies, scoring goals, and that was my next outlook, was to look what was the best option for me at that time.
We now see, and there is now a clear understanding that you were driven, you had a time frame in your career that you wanted to win a trophy, and you lifted the Premier League last season, the Carabao Cup already, the trophies are coming and coming and coming. I want to talk to you about something else you've just alluded to there, and moving up to Liverpool. It was partly a footballing decision, but there was another reason, wasn't there?
Yeah, at the time, going to school, it was quite difficult, especially, travelling certain areas in and around Wembley, Halsden, Church Roads. You always had to be careful, as a 14-year-old, 13-year-old. You're walking in a group of three, and you've got to be careful. You've got to always be on the lookout. You can't really be relaxed, because at the time it was really bad. It was pretty much like how it was, pretty much not as bad now, but it was pretty much the same. And when I had the opportunity to go away to Liverpool, I took it with both hands. It was another opportunity for me to kind of be isolated, really. Isolated is probably not the nicest word to use, but to be isolated, to have my focus on becoming a professional footballer. That's something I've always wanted to do, and to be given that opportunity by Liverpool, I always be grateful and thankful for.
And that's why you come back to your community projects, to tell people that there is a way you can find through football, ways to get away from crime, ways to get a new life.
Yeah, for sure. You always, got to, when you do something positive and become a professional footballer, which I set out to do, you've got to go and give the next generation hope. I remember giving the 500 tickets to the kids from my school. Probably a lot of people looked at it as a press stunt, but for me, I remember receiving, a ticket for the gifted and talented to go and watch the first ever FA Cup final at Wembley, Manchester United versus Chelsea, and for me that was a confirming moment for me that this is exactly what I want to do. It gave me, extra motivation, and it was just something that I thought to give back, just something small. You don't know how much it will, help someone just like you at that age.
Your commitment and your family's commitment is what we also need to pay tribute to, because you wouldn't be a Manchester City Premier League winning player without them. There's a bus stop right outside, and it's significant. What number is it? You knew exactly which number before I even said it earlier.
Oh, the 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, 18. Yeah, it was a bus that I used to take to Harrow, and then from Harrow on to Harlington, on the 182 for my training sessions at QPR.
How long would it take? And your sister would go with you, right, when she had work the next day?
Yeah, no, school.
School
the next day. Yeah, we were both still in school. She's like 3 years older than me. But yeah, she would, always help out. Sometimes we're moving houses, and as a child, girls, sometimes they want to do, shopping, or they want to go somewhere. She never complained. She always knew that was Raheem's thing, Raheem's passion, and something that made me happy. And she was never complaining, never moaned to my mum. And to this day, I'm so grateful of her to, help me on getting to where I want to go, because them small steps are so massive in my career now.
Just to give people an idea, she had school the next day, and sometimes you'd be getting back as late as...
Yeah, you can train in, what time training? 6 o'clock sometimes. Sometimes you get back 9, 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes even later, because either delays and stuff like that. But, and that's what family are for at the end of the day. And we've always had a close relationship. But as I said, I'm really grateful, not just my sister, but my mum and my whole family.
We've heard about the amazing support of your mum, that she suggested you went to QPR and not went to Arsenal, so you could be developed, that you'd have a lot of attention on her, a lot of attention on you, and that really worked out. How proud are you of how she supported you, but also how proud would your dad be of you tonight? Yeah,
my mum is, the biggest inspiration for me in my life. Whenever something's going wrong, whenever I'm feeling down or anything bad, I always think of my mum, or my mum doing the situation. She's a lady that fights. That's the word I always use for us, fight. She's always fighting. She's always fighting, and that's the mentality I like to use now, is to fight. I've seen my mum fight through some of the hardest things, and sometimes I look at my situation and I'm thinking, this ain't nothing. Like, I can get through this on the other side, because I've seen what my mum's done. I've seen what she's capable of. So, I think that's where I get my fight from. So, oh yeah, and also, sorry, I want to say, my dad. My dad. Listen, I don't speak about it a lot, but my dad passed away when I was a young boy. But it's a difficult one to talk about. But sometimes I'm sitting in before games, before the World Cup, and just little moments like that. I just wish like he could see me on the pitch, and but you know, it's the way it is. But forever, I always love him. Always know that he's watching over us.
You've now been recognised alongside Sir Stanley Matthews, Bobby Moore, the greatest game players in the history of the game. How proud would he be of you?
Yeah, my mum said he used to love football himself, and he was always thinking he was a good footballer. But you know, sometimes just going out to games, important games, finals, you just sit there and you say, "Oh, I wish you were here, mate," and you know, hopefully I can score one for you today. But you know, this is life, and I cherish every moment, every story my mum gives me, and you know, tell these stories to my boys and my daughter as well.
Well, I think you might believe that one day your son could be up there too, right?
I'm very confident, to be honest with you. I'm very, very confident. That little boy loves football too much. It's a bit annoying, to be honest with you.
Rifle Toes.
Yeah, TT Rifle Toes.
Was that your nickname as well as a
Yeah,
player?
oh no, that's just his. He just loves shooting, so call him TT Rifle Toes.
And your kids, who you care about so very much and you love very much, and having lost your father, there's something else you really want to talk about away from racism, isn't it? And it's protecting children on the streets in England.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking of doing a small documentary just on my life experiences in London, being in and around London, and just try to give kids, you know, an insight of what I was going through, not just what I was going through, my friends were going through, and how you help each other in situations like these. You know, there's been times that I could have gone that side, but I knew what my mum was like, you know, so I had to stay on the straight path. But I just want to do this to show kids, you know, if you're in a group of friends, keep your friends on the straight and narrow and help each other out. Remember going up to Liverpool and my friends seeing what I'm doing, and they loved that, and they loved the side of the life that I showed them, and it's pushed some of them on. I've got friends now that are doing TV shows on Netflix that we all went to school with. So, you know, little things like that I just want to highlight and show the kids of the next generation, really.
So football has saved you and saved your family and given your friends opportunity. So people can now maybe understand a little more when you're criticised for buying your mum a house, buying your sister a house, how much that hurts.
Yeah, you don't get to, you know, majority of the time when you see me on a screen and I'm talking, you know, I have to try to be on my best behaviour in front of the TV to talk on. But, you know, my mum, I've been through so much with my mum. I don't want to bore you lot, sorry, but I don't really want to bore you. But, you know, I've been through so much with my mum, my family, and like everybody else here. I'm no different. But, you know, some days you finish training and you go home and you're in a company, she's telling you you've got a new address, and it's difficult. So to be able to pay my mum back, that's what I will do. So yeah.
Well, you're certainly paying the world back with your beautiful football and what you're giving. I want to talk to you about the racism and everything that you've raised. What do you want to see happen next?
I just want to see. I think the most important thing about it is, I just say education on it, on the topic, really. You know, and also having, you know, harsh punishments, really. We need to make people understand and aware that it can't keep happening, and then 3 months later it's forgotten about, and then again happening again, and arising maybe 3 years later. You know, we've got to come together as one and find a solution to make this go away, because it's not fair to get judged on your race, gender, no matter what shape or size you are. No one should be, you know, have the right to judge anyone.
You are somewhat of a reluctant leader in this, aren't you? This is all a bit of a surprise to you.
Yeah, as I said, this is not something that I woke up and said, yeah, this is the perfect opportunity to be a leader. No, I just wanted to, you know, express my feelings, but, you know, also speaking with players that's been through the same experiences as me, and some players even worse, and are shy and to say something in public. I just try to use my platform not just to talk for me, but to talk for other players, and use my voice, and that's exactly what I try to do.
And what the remarkable thing is that I was petrified coming up here, doing this for my first time, but you're petrified in front of all these people. You're petrified going in the VIP room with a few people until someone came along and helped you out. So this is remarkable. You said, I'll talk about my dad, I'll talk about what I want to talk about, but let's also look at the one thing you really moved to Manchester City for, and this incredible title run, and the fact that you could be on course for the treble. This weekend now is huge. When you saw that Liverpool result, did you just think, we've got to go again, but just go bigger? Have you got to really prove a point now?
What, the Champions League one?
No, this weekend. In the Premier League.
Last weekend.
After seeing them, Liverpool beat Barcelona.
Okay. Yeah, no, to be honest with you, I was actually really happy for Liverpool. I was buzzing. I always had a feeling that they can come back. People might not believe me, but Anfield's a special place. But going into this weekend's game, I'm not really thinking about their win or whatnot. We know it's in our hands, and if you want to be a Premier League champion, you've got to be able to cope with that pressure. And Sunday will be massive pressure. But this is exactly what you're a professional football player for: is enjoying these moments and try to make history.
And when you have someone like Vincent Kompany coming up with a goal and it suddenly seems it's not going your way, do you think it's fate now?
He's still got a lot of work to do, Vinny, I don't know if he scored a goal with his feet before. It's normally with his head, but when someone like him comes up with a goal like that at a vital time of the season, it just shows the characters we have in our dressing room, and also the ability. Normally it's one of the attackers, and we've got a lot of attackers there, but it was a centre back that normally scores headers.
Sergio Aguero yet to be recognised in this. Is that a surprise to you?
Sergio will definitely have a big say on Sunday. He's a player that, when he's on the pitch, I'm happy, because at any moment in time he can change a game on his head, and for sure on Sunday he'll have a massive part to play.
And for you, the absolute highlight of this year?
My highlight of this year is probably right now. Right now, being here. I'm not just saying that, by the way. Being here with you guys today, and getting voted, the Writers' Player of the Year is amazing. And then Sunday I have the biggest game of my life to hopefully go and win. It's a lovely week. So this moment here, this week is very special. Hopefully very special as well.
Thank you for being so open with us. Raheem Sterling, your Footballer of the Year.
Hey.